So some interesting details have come out about Nintendo Switch's online paid service that you're really going to want to hear about. There are massive ups and massive downs, making this service kind of a gamble at the moment. But before we get into that, I want to mention two things. First, I have a Discord server that I've had for quite some time. Check it out. There's some good people there. They post a lot of memes, fun stuff, and I go in there and chit-chat with them every now and again. The second thing, believe it or not, a dad has gotten his toddler to climb inside a prize machine to steal Nintendo consoles. These machines, they're definitely rigged, some of them being more rigged than others, but this one is quite amazing. Yeah, there's a video of a guy having his toddler hand him a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo 3DS as well. Pretty crazy to see, pretty funny, but nonetheless, there you go. Yeah, he's wanted by police for child endangerment. Not the dad of the year, but I'm sure his kids really appreciate his efforts to get them some new Nintendo consoles. So, we're going to continue on to something that's somewhat depressing and downing. See, Nintendo Switch's online service was divulged at the Nintendo Direct with very, very minimal details, explaining just exactly what you're getting for $20 a month. Now, the one thing I continuously see over and over again is it's just $20 a month. Why are you having a fit over $20 a month? $20 isn't even that much. Apathy is what led the video game industry to where it is right now with microtransactions and loot boxes. Oh, who cares? Who cares? It's just a couple dollars. Who cares if you put loot boxes in the game? It's not like you're chopping up the game and piecing it into the loot boxes or anything. That never happened. No. But it did happen, and that is what apathy leads to. It leads to a lot of very negative things in the industry. So giving Nintendo Switch Online a pass just because it's cheap doesn't make it any better than what it actually is. So there's a few details regarding Nintendo Switch Online that have come out that you're going to really want to know about. You won't need Switch to play Fortnite or other free-to-play games. Some free-to-play games, because once again, this isn't set in stone. The Switch Online service isn't even out yet, but as of now, it has been stated that you won't need it for games like Fortnite, Arena of Valor, or other games like Warframe. So that leads me to think if they are free to play, then you won't need to pay for the Switch Online for that. I suppose that those kinds of games and their developers are going to have to eat that cost, or Nintendo has chose not to charge them for the online service. The service is going to be free to start as well. You're going to have a 7-day trial, so I guess free to start is something. I mean, once again, Microsoft usually gives you a free 30-day trial, free 15-day trial. A lot of their games come with a 7-day trial, and again, if you get on there and you don't have gold, you can usually get it for $1 or a penny. So again, competing services do a lot better in handling this. So the 7-day free trial isn't that great. I'm just throwing it out there. And also, Xbox and Microsoft allow you to play their game streaming service where you have access to an unlimited library of Microsoft games for free, usually in the first 30 days. You can use gold coins to pay for a subscription. Now, your ears might have perked up and you might be saying, well, holy crap, I buy tons of Nintendo stuff. If I can use gold coins to pay for it, that's sweet. I won't even have to pay for it. Hang on a second. Gold coins are only going to be worth a 0.01 cent. So that means you would have to spend $400 in digital purchases to get a Nintendo Switch Online for free. You know, I buy tons of Nintendo Switches for people, but at the end of the day, I just don't buy digital content for my Nintendo Switch. So yeah, you're not going to get it for free unless you're spending hundreds of dollars on your Switch every year. But if you do, you get $20 free. So here's the biggest one, and the biggest negative of this service. The cloud save backups will eventually disappear if your subscription lapses. So let's say you're going through a tough time in life. I've survived on $800 a month before. That's when I first got out of the army, didn't have a job, and was going to college. Sweet, you could do it, you just have to budget really well. Point is, I wouldn't be able to afford an online service like the Nintendo Switch Online here, so the backup saves will disappear. There are notable exceptions. Again, this isn't set in stone, so right now they're saying that Splatoon 2 and Dark Souls Remastered are the exceptions, but apparently if you let it lapse, and who knows for how long, you won't be able to get your backup saves. Referencing Microsoft, Xbox, as well as Sony PlayStation, they give you free backup saves. It's mostly numbers, and the game itself just reconstructs that save for you, so yeah, I'm not really sure why you're paying for cloud backup saves on your Switch. Once again, the NES games will be accessible with your Switch Online subscription, but I do have one caveat. I'm going to show you why the Nintendo Switch Online has nothing to offer me whatsoever. Here, let me go ahead and show you. Basically, if you were able to buy yourself an NES Classic and hack it and mod it out, you would be able to put the entire NES library onto it. And if you bought it for the stock price at like Walmart or something, that would be around $60 you would be paying for the entire NES library. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, well, that's piracy, isn't it? And yeah, to a point it is. But I also own almost every single NES game in some way, shape, or form. Just because emulation websites and ROM websites are gone doesn't magically make it impossible for me to acquire those ROMs. How long until the Nintendo Switch is discontinued and you won't be accessing those NES games anymore? So the entire point of that is just basically that you could get yourself an NES Classic, you could hack it, mod it, and put the entire NES library on it for $60. That would be 3 years of Nintendo Switch Online. And if that's the only reason you're getting the Nintendo Switch Online, yeah, there you go. That's a viable option for you. Most TVs have HDMI, so it's pretty easy to hook it up. Also, those NES Switch Online games, they can be played offline for up to 7 days. But after 7 days, you're not going to be able to get that. You have to connect to the internet once a week. Once again, this would be incredibly difficult for soldiers. The Nintendo Switch is an ideal console for soldiers, but if you can't hook up online with it, then you're going to lose all those NES games, which sucks because soldiers love playing video games in their downtime. There's not a lot to do. Nintendo Classics will have HD resolution, save states, visual filters, and a cursor that can be controlled by another player. Now, once again, aside from the cursor being controlled by another player, this is basically the Nintendo Classic. So, what are you actually gaining here from Nintendo Switch Online? Because the Nintendo Classic has HD resolution with HDMI, it has save states, it has visual filters that you can change around, and it has a second controller so you can play it with other people. And again, if you mod it out and hack it, you can put 600 games on it. You can put the entire NES library on it with all that stuff, and it's a dedicated console that you can take with you anywhere, any place. It's really, really tiny. All you need is TV to hook it up to. I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. Finally, more games will be compatible with the voice chat app. Nintendo probably did not want people to use headsets because it isolates people from each other. You're not able to hear each other, you're not able to communicate with each other in an open, big living room environment, and instead decided to go the pathway of open voice chat on your phone because they feel that everybody has a cell phone, everybody has access to at least one cell phone, so probably if you're going to be getting a Nintendo Switch, you probably have access to a cell phone, hence you're able to use voice chat with your friends, with your family, with your brothers and sisters openly without excluding them. Now this is alright, I guess. I think every single game should support some type of voice interactivity, just for the simple fact that if you're going to play with another person, you're going to want to communicate with them and understand what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, the NES games are somewhat worth it, but at the end of the day, you're still never going to keep them. All the money that you're putting towards Nintendo Switch Online is going to poof and disappear. Again, competing services like the Xbox 360's online that gives you free games every single month, you get to keep those forever. All the other services, you don't keep the games unless you're able to sign online, unlike Nintendo where you have to connect in some way, shape, or form. If you don't connect in 7 days, you don't get to play that game. The price tag in comparison to other competing services, it might be lower, it might be a third of what a year of Xbox or PlayStation might cost you personally, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make it any better. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Nintendo Switch Online service that has been detailed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and share this information to people because they're going to want to know if they're going to get a Nintendo Switch, and they're going to want to know about this stuff. If you disliked it, you can dislike it all you want, and hey, that's okay. You disagree with me, I've got no problem with it. Other than that, I'm in your Protomario, and I'd appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 1 million subscribers. I'm doing it up, doing it big, and hopefully, together, you and I, we can beat terrible websites that have a biased agenda to deliver the news to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, good gaming, God bless, and hope you guys have a great day.